Hello, YouTube, and welcome to episode 7 of Anna's Journey to the End. It's your girl Anna here, and I am here to take you through a little bit of a review of all of the construction that I have been doing this week. And there's been a lot of it. So, I have it loaded in a copy of the world loaded in creative mode right now, so I can take you around a lot faster. As you can see, I have changed up some of the village. I've switched the cobblestone for some stone brick, and I've done some other changes that I'm going to take you around and show you. So, starting off here at the shepherds, we now have all of our villagers that have job site blocks other than farmers have their job site block and their bed in one cozy location. None of them exist on chunk edges, which is very useful. So we've got our shepherd, we've got our fisherman, Roger, who is still here and still buys all of our tasty fish as we get done. We have some of these houses here that belong to the farmers. We've got Leche's armor shop for legs and chest. We have a Fletcher now that we've added into our village. A couple of farmers. We got Hefe's armor emporium for heads and feet. This is another farmer's one. I still haven't gotten to that one over there. Right now it houses 2 farmers. And as you can see, we've cut down the size of our library. And this is actually what spawned all of this upgrading of our village. So you'll remember last week that we had Meg, who carried mending books. And as I go through here, you will see we have no Meg. I am fairly certain Meg crossed a chunk border as I was out exploring some of the areas that you will see in the recap, and he is no longer with us. He has disappeared to the void. So over here we've got Chris's tool warehouse, we got Frank's weapons and more, we've got our butcher Mike's meats, we've got our stonemason, and we've got 2 other new jobs down here. We have our cleric, and we have a cartographer. And right now our cleric is he's the one that's giving us a fit, because he is not resting when it comes time to sleep at night. I am fairly certain I have a rogue villager here, and that's down in the mines. I'm going to have to go down and see if I can find him, and either bring him back to the village or dispatch him, whichever one is easiest. So yeah, we've had a busy time. As you can see, I'm probably going to start working on the gatehouse and changing that over and finishing up these last couple of buildings and all of these towers, as well as the lighthouse. And I think I've finally figured out what I want to do for a light source. I think I'm going to use redstone lamps in that, keyed on with a night sensor, so that the lights in the lighthouse only come on at night. I think that'll be a cool little, project. But we are going to take you on to the recap now. Okay, so our first bit of this week's journey was to go back and visit the Bastion that we'd found over by the Nether Fortress. So the first thing we did was we came in and we blocked off the lava. I did some research on this particular bastion and realized that it is like a gatehouse type, because there's a couple of different types of bastions, and this one basically just has a bridge. Sometimes there's some more stuff past it. This one, after exploring, didn't have anything past the bridge area. It was just kind of just that. I had previously come in here and I had managed to kill the one warden before getting too scared to do anything else and leaving. That was right after I finished with the Nether Fortress. So there were only just regular piglin guards throughout this. Wasn't too bad. There was a lot of lava, though. And so that was the biggest thing, was trying to sneak around and block off as much of the lava as I could to get to the chests. This particular fortress only has, or type of fortress only has 2 kinds of chests. And they're usually both up kind of more in the gatehousey areas, which you'll see there's kind of some lava streams on the sides of the bridge that goes through. Usually they're up at top of both of those. So we did some exploration. We blocked off a lot of lava right at the get-go. That's me here moving around right now. And while you're watching me kind of block off this lava and do a little bit of exploration, we're going to talk a little bit about self-care. Self-care is something that is very important for all of us, especially this last year with COVID. And it's something that I was kind of neglecting, and I'm trying to get better about it. As you can see, I am here, so you can look at my lovely face as I sit here and narrate my videos. I managed to get my makeup done this week. That was something that eluded me all last week. And it makes me feel much better to be here and doing this. This is actually one of the things that I enjoy doing. So it's part of that self-care process. Doing something you enjoy when the rest of the world is just crazy around you. So up here is where I found the first chest. There wasn't a whole lot of good in here. There was a lodestone though. I've never used one of those in any of my previous worlds. I've never found one before, and I've never dealt with building one. So moving to the other side, I got into the other gatehouse part. There was no chest, so I started looking around, and up top here, as I'm exploring, I did find it. It was kind of tucked down in that little nook and cranny. And this chest didn't have a huge amount of loot in it either. It did have a magic sword, and it had some crying obsidian and some ancient debris. I was very excited about the crying obsidian, because I am using that in my library portion of my base, and it's hard to come by, so finding that was very nice. Also stole the chests while I was here because, well, they're not going to be needed here anymore. Went back up into the upper gatehouse that did not have a chest in it and found a gold block, and then went through and almost got knocked off the edge right there. I am so lucky that I hit a block. Yep, that XP is just going to stay down there. I didn't go get it. After that, I went and stole this, like, piglin head statue thing. I think I'm going to set this up in a part of my base as a, trophy of my victory. It's a pretty simple design, and I think it'd be a fun little addition to that. After I finished this, I managed to hop my way up and thankfully not drop any lava on my head as I left here for a very interesting experience on the way back, which you will be seeing here shortly. That is a ghast right there. Came around a corner on the way back and whack, hit him with his own fireball, and then I pissed off the Zoglins and ended up. So, the next day I went and decided to hit up this pillager tower, see what was up here in the chest. This was a very unique pillager tower. It had spawned in the middle of a river. I do not think I'd ever encountered one of these before. At least one that spawned here. I've seen them in all kinds of other locations, but never in the middle of a river. So I did manage to get this one and not get hit with Bad Omen. You'll notice I am using my axe to take these guys down. Mostly because I was trying to gain back some durability on my axe, and I wasn't too worried about looting on these guys. I might get some more arrows, but I don't want a crossbow. Snuck over here and made sure I took this guy out. Once I did it right, instead of sticking out just a little bit too far. And I definitely avoided that guy. I really did not want Bad Omen again. I didn't have a bucket with me this time with which to collect up milk. And I didn't really know where there were any cows. I didn't feel like going back all the way to the Mushroom Islands. So, yeah. We just avoided that. And thankfully we did. I was actually quite surprised, because this was a very well-protected little pillager tower as far as the number of pillagers that were tucked around. There were a lot of them hanging out on these upper ledges. You can hear my daughter's YouTube videos in the background there. I can't remember who it is that she's watching there. She's been watching a lot of Preston Plays, Brianna, and who's the last one? Breckbro Jack here recently. I'm not as much into a lot of them. I don't mind Breckbro Jack as much. Preston and Brianna tend to do too many pranks, and I'm not into the pranking thing. I don't like that, and honestly, I think it teaches my daughter the wrong kind of thing. So, yep, we looted this for what we could and what might be useful, and then we continued on. We found what was basically abandoned village, and we got a diamond, some apples, some iron armor, and some stuff out of the chests. This, I think, was the best chest out of there, though I did grab the cartography table for the cartographer. The next journey out was going north, and I found another ruined nether portal to add to my cracked obsidian stockpile for doing my library. I also found some more gold armor. I now have a full set of gold armor. I've got fire protection on most of the pieces. I haven't yet put mending on it. I've got unbreaking on a couple of them at various levels, and I'm working on getting a full set for exploring the nether. To me, gold armor really isn't any good other than for the nether. And then only because it avoids you having to deal with one of the mobs. And honestly, piglins are one of the more annoying mobs. As we were exploring, we found a third mushroom island on this seed that is within a really close thing.
Ooh, that's the kind of thing we wanted to find.
And then we found a desert temple. I was hoping to find some good loot in this, and we'll see how that turns out.
Oh, and we got a little village over there.
But a funny little bit of a story on this, and you're going to hear my daughter in the background talking to me occasionally. She wants me to help her build something on one of her worlds. But, there we go.
Amy, what do you want to make with me?
Now, I did forget my torches for doing this, so this was a little bit sketchy, and you're not going to see a whole lot. Went back up to look to see if there was anything that I could snag real quick to make some torches. Was looking for a bit of coal. Unfortunately, I didn't find any, and I ended up just going back in and doing it in the dark. Kind of sucks for you, the viewer, as well, but if you've ever encountered one of these, you already know the deal. You make your way down to the bottom, and you take out the 9 TNT down there, and then you loot the chests. On the realm that I share with my daughter, the first one of these that I took her to, I went to go show her how to do this, and she had just gotten a bow that I'd given her that I had loaded up with from fishing, so it was a fully maxed out bow with all enchantments. And as we get down there, she shot me right onto that center pressure plate, and yep, it went up. All the treasure went away, and I was left sitting there in the bottom of that hole with like half a heart left. I have no idea how I died. I think I only had iron armor at the time. It is still probably one of my fondest Minecraft moments in a completely messed up, humorous way. As you can see, this particular temple didn't have a whole lot. I got some iron, I got some gold, and I got some gunpowder. I think of all of the things, I was most excited about the gunpowder because I need a little bit more of that. I did find one more golden apple. But that was about it. You'll also notice I'm collecting the bones for a challenge that is coming up that my daughter gave me to do in this. So that's going to be one of the signs that you'll see towards the end of the video. After we'd finished looting everything, we made our way out and continued our journey on to other areas. The village didn't have anything in it, and so I went back, unloaded my inventory, and started again. This time I found another ruined portal. I found, for the first time, an enchanted chest plate in gold. That is currently a chest plate sitting on the armor stand next to my room. Got some obsidian. I picked up the heavy pressure plate even though I wasn't going to use it because I thought I could smelt it down. Apparently you can't smelt those down. After that I found yet another ruined portal. This one was underwater, and we snagged a pretty decent pair of armor leggings out of here. Fire Protection 4 and Unbreaking 3. So all I've got to do is add mending on that one, and I've got one of my nether set of golden armor. This was a pretty painful one to explore with all of that lava. It was actually at the bottom of a ravine. From there we went on and we found one more village with a single nitwit, and I stole the brewing stand from it. That was my week. Okay, and we are back. As you can see, this time I've got some XP bars and hearts and food, so we are back in our survival world. Oh, and I hit one too many times. So after that last village is where I discovered that Meg was gone, and the rest of the week was spent working on things. So I have updated my board. So we've got Tame 5 Wolves. This particular task has been given to me by my daughter, and it's an achievement that I haven't earned yet. We still have Expand Base up here, but I think other than the kelp farm and maybe a little bit more, the base is mostly done. We've got Upgrade Village, that's mostly completed. I've just got the lighthouse, the towers, and those last two other buildings to do, and a couple of chunks of wall. find nether wart. I think this one is going to be my hardest one. I'm going to have to find either another nether fortress or luck out and find a bastion with a hoglin breeding ground. We've got map area. I'm pretty good on most of that. We've got librarian with mending back again. I've also added a librarian with unbreaking. I'm hoping I can get both of those. Next up is to get a totem of undying. I think I've got an idea for that. And lastly, building that kelp farm. This one might actually go away. I'm kind of manually farming kelp and doing pretty good with it. So, that's been episode 7. I hope you all had an excellent time and continue to have an excellent day. Until next time, Anna out.